By this point in time, you've seen the report. We've covered in depth all 7 key insights from our 2025 National Benchmark Study on resident sentiment towards sporting events. But like any good research, you can have the greatest data in the world, but if you don't know what it means or how to use it, then it's really for a lost cause. So, in this final recap video for this study, I'm going to do a quick hit of the 5 ways that you can take everything you've learned from this study and implement it in your community for you in your personal and professional life, for your organization, and for your community at large. Number one is position sports appropriately in your destination's game plan. Is sports driving success? Is it driving exposure? Is it something that your local residents feel very connected to and very favorable about? The answer to that is yes, if you followed anything in this study. So make sure you're giving it due diligence. Give it the credit it deserves. Highlight it among your tourism portfolio when compared to things like business, meetings, and conventions. Use it as that conduit of connectivity. And that ties right into number 2, which is leverage sports as a community unifier, because it is. Unlike meetings and conventions and some of those other things, it's no disrespect to them, but we've talked about it before. Sports is tangible. It's a connective fiber across the fabric of our communities. And the data shows that your residents view it as a unifier, so use it as such. Number 3, demonstrate an expanded definition of success through sports tourism. Man, I've talked about this for years. I feel like I've been beating this drum forever, and I'm starting to see more and more traction around it. But what we do in our industry is not just about driving hotel room nights. It's about contributing to the fabric of our community, like I just mentioned. It's about creating places where people want to, yes, visit, but we also want to work, live, and play. Sports does that. Look at things like volunteerism, but like philanthropy, like access to sport participation for underserved populations. All of these things, resident sentiment of sporting events, all of these things are additive to just the sheer economics of the picture. And if you've taken my courses, you've seen my stuff before, you know I am adamant about this because it is true, and this report backs that up. So make sure that you're using these elements to expand the definition of success in your community. Number 4, proactively address the negative impacts, or at least the perceived negative impacts. It's not all daisies and unicorns, as we talked about in Key Insight 7. So we're fooling ourselves and we're losing our credibility when we run around telling everybody that sports is all good and no bad. It's not the case. The difference is, can we own up to the fact that there can be negative implications, own them, have awareness about them, and address them proactively in our communities? What we'll find is we're not just sweeping that stuff under the rug, we're actually gaining credibility by saying, yes, we realize that we have to monitor the influx of visitors for some of these major events, and we realize that it may cause disruptions to our infrastructure or to the convenience that our local populace enjoys. And we have to weigh whether that's important or not. Newsflash, it is important. We have to weigh whether or not we're going to bring those things into our communities, whether we're willing to risk that or not. We have to have concerted ways and efforts to communicate with the local populace. Make sure we recall that they are actually our primary key stakeholder. It's those in our local communities, not the visitors. So we've got to pay attention to that and address the negative impacts from events and some of the things that are taking place just at large in our industry. The last way that you can use this to take insights to action in your community is to utilize resident sentiment as a guiding light. Now, what we've provided here in this report for you is a national benchmark that is across the board, across the country, 4,000 respondents mirroring the US Census Bureau demographic. But what does it mean for your market specifically? Are you measuring it regularly? Are you stacking up your market's performance to the national benchmark or to resident sentiment of your tourism portfolio in general? Are you spot checking it periodically over the course of years to make sure that you're actually hitting the mark, and then secondarily gathering that key information as an advocacy and an adjustment tool in your planning process going forward? If you're not, you should be. So those are our 5 takeaways from insights to action. If you follow even some of these 5 steps, and you all know me, know that I'm a fan of keep it simple, stupid, the KISS philosophy. This does not need to be complicated. Let's keep it really simple. Let's do some basic things to highlight this data and to improve upon what we're doing in our communities through sports tourism, and you'll be amazed at the results. Now, stay tuned because there's a whole lot more data than what we could report on in just this first cut of a report, but we've got much more coming down the line. If you've got any questions, you'd love for us to present on this, or you're just curious how you roll up your sleeves and put it into practice a little bit more in your market, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Until next time, I'm Dr. Jennifer Stoll, President and CEO of Cimarron Global Solutions. For our friends and partners in this effort at Longwoods International, our sponsors presented by Miles Partnership, Visit Frisco, and the Greater Orlando Sports Commission coming into support. We couldn't have done this without them. And our whole intent of this report is to resource you, the ones that are working day in and day out to make this industry and our communities great through sports.